as it stands, we have three vaccines that have been approved for full use. There are others that are still coming in. And last week, what I did was to explain what the phases actually mean when it comes to vaccine clinical trials. So we tried to address some of the rumors that are making the rounds that these vaccines have actually been rushed in. And last week, we explained what it actually means to go from phase one, phase two, phase three, and to get approval. And I highlighted the other week that we have one that was actually abandoned. And I like to emphasize this to show you that in the case where something goes wrong in a trial, the whole trial is halted and everything is taken out of the system. So there's no need to worry about vaccines that have been approved. They are very well thoroughly studied. So as I indicated last week, in addition to the Pfizer and BioNTech vaccines, there's been another vaccine that has been approved in China. And this is from Sinopharm. And this has been used in a number of countries, including Bahrain. So now, moving on to talk about the numbers of people that have been vaccinated. Over the world, it's thought that about 10 million people have been vaccinated. China is ahead with 4.5 million, and the United States comes a second position with about 2.8 million vaccines. Now, there's a very interesting story with the United States vaccination process. Now, they were expecting to have been able to have vaccinated about 20 million people by the end of the year. But I mean, this is something that is new. We are faced with a new pandemic, new troubles. So this hasn't really been achieved. As it stands now, they have only vaccinated less than 3 million people. Now they are trying to work out to see how they can actually increase the numbers of people that they are vaccinating. The United Kingdom comes next. They have been using the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. But there's some good news that has come out of the United Kingdom in that they have approved the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine for use. Now, the exciting thing about this vaccine is that it has conditions for storage that are not as strict as are for the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine and then the Moderna vaccine. Now, these vaccines that are coming from the Oxford and AstraZeneca group can actually be stored at room temperature, in refrigerated conditions for up to 6 months. So that is something that is really, really wonderful. Last week, we talked about why the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine and then the Moderna vaccine can be challenging when it comes to our conditions in Ghana. But with the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine, we can have better storage conditions for these. Now, last week, I showed that there were only a few countries that have been vaccinated so far, but we indicated that Germany was set to start their vaccinations on December 27th, and they did start together with a number of other European countries. And you can see that the numbers have increased as the days have gone by.